When do recruiters need to fix a resume? Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter, and if you haven't yet seen this channel before, welcome. It is every Thursday at noon, and it's just all about making you the next Millionaire Recruiter, which remember, one step at a time and have fun with it. So what's a great thing to talk about is today is stepping in and helping fix your candidate's resume. When does a recruiter have to go in and do that? There's a few different situations, and really what you need to understand is how truly important but almost useless a resume is. It kind of like contradicts itself. The reason why you have to make sure it's a good resume for your candidate is really because you need to get them in the door. That is your responsibility. After the interviews or during the interviews, you have nothing to do with that. You can prep them on what to say, what to wear, but really it's their skills and their knowledge that's gonna take them to the next level. So you just need to make sure you get them there, and then you can help with all the other stuff. So this beautiful vessel needs to be really precise and to the point as much as possible. So let's say your candidate sends you, I don't know, a 6-page resume. That's really thorough. Even if they have, 20, 30 years experience, that's just too thorough. And they're like, well, how do I narrow my life down to 1 to 2 pages? So maybe 3 pages. I think at the most you'd probably chop that in half. So there's a couple different ways to go about this. You can be extremely honest with them, which I believe in. I believe in being just brutally honest because it's really fast and efficient. And just say, look, a company will look at your resume for about 15 to 20 seconds, which by the way is true, and you as a recruiter will learn how to do the same thing, probably even faster than that because you're awesome. And what they'll do is they'll just kind of like gaze over it, and they're like, well then what's the point of writing a good resume? Well, it's because they're looking for a few key things depending on what they're hiring for, and you really need to make that shine. So if you're sending a really long resume, what does that say about you? That you're long-winded and you could be exhausting to talk to, so that's something that might come out. Now, if it's too short of a resume and there's not enough information on there, you do have to then tell your candidate, hey, I need a little more information. I mean, you can't say that you've been somewhere for 2 to 3 years of your life and you have like 3 sentences. That's too little. So there is that fine line between a resume is too long and too short. And this is where you become that expert. Now, can you do that yourself? Listen, you're not gonna write someone's resume, but this is where you fix it. So you can start omitting things from, I don't know, let's say, make it 6 years. Let's say they have 6 years experience. You can keep those 6 years as long as it's not too long. That you can just kind of omit yourself and put at the bottom for more experience, reach out, let me know, or whatever. Now there's also the education. Now let's say someone's really well educated and it's on the bottom of the resume. Crazy! No, you grab that education and you bring it up at the top and make it shine because guess what? They earned it. So might as well be proud of it and show it off. Because there's a few things that companies really look for. And with me, with tech, a computer science degree, a relevant degree is super needed, especially if it's a top school. They're like, okay, ding, 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 fundamentals. Regardless of what industry you're in, companies are going to want certain things. I would imagine education is probably one of them, especially in what they're actually doing. So that's important. Now, what if the education's on the top and it's not very good? Some people put GPAs on there that aren't very good. Now, that's the part where it's like you don't want to completely insult the person, but take off their GPA. If it's not very good, take it off. There's really no reason for it. And what's not really good, again, depending on industry, but if it's not higher than a 3.5 at college, it's like, okay. Now, if I was in high school and I got a 3.5, I'd be like, yeah, look at that. But that's just not how it is, not my industry anyways. So yeah, just take it off, no need to have it. But if the education is poor, you just put that stuff at the bottom. You're not taking it off, you're not lying, it's just, we'll look at that later. Sometimes you won't even get to the bottom. Or maybe they'll just be like, hey, does this person have a college degree? Okay, great, and they'll move on because they're already interested in this person's background. Now, let's go to summary. Some people have it, Some people don't. Is it necessary? Totally depends on what it is and really whether or not the rest of the resume is thorough. Because what's nice about a summary is it's just gonna give maybe a little pop of personality and a little taste of what they do. Again, you're scanning through a resume really quickly as a company, you see hundreds already and you're exhausted. You just wanna know, do I wanna move forward with this person or not? Great, so you help them with that summary. If this summary is like a chunk, you help them. Now, I don't always tell people that I'm modifying their resume, and it's not because I'm being dishonest, it's just because I'm helping them. And there's really no need. Sometimes if they're big changes, I will send it to them and be like, hey, just so you know, here's what your resume should look like. I'm the expert, you're good at what you do, but we're collaborating and that's why you use me. So sometimes I do that, but if it's a quick change, like an education or just maybe like a summary, like omitting just a couple things, I don't really find the need. And I've done it for 12 years, I've never gotten in trouble. So yay. But yeah, I mean, feel free to send them the updated thing, whatever you want to do. But now as far as, people put some like activities and things that they're really interested in at the bottom. And I actually find that to be really interesting, but read them. For the love of God, read them. I have had actually someone not get the job because they put something a little bit inappropriate at the bottom. So my bad. Now I had to say sorry for that, and it's embarrassing for me because at the end of the day, your candidates are a representation of you and your company, and you gotta take responsibility for it. Same with if they have websites on their resume or any kind of personal, whether it's a GitHub, if they're doing tech, you have to take a look at that because once you send that to the company, it's over and they have it forever. And again, I've had someone with a bad website and my fault. So take you through really quickly, what does techies do? What do I do? As a resume, I do Calibra 11 size font. That's just our standard. I want all of our resumes to look the same. I want when our resumes to come in someone's inbox, they're like, yes, techie's resume. Yes, they all look the same. Yes, I don't have to think about the format being odd or misspellings. Again, you're gonna have your resume up. And don't assume that people spell check first their own resumes. Yes, it's ridiculous, but guess what? Common sense, not too common. That is your job. And that's just something I don't think all recruiters really take advantage of, is being thorough and making sure every single resume that they send through looks awesome and presentable. Because remember, a resume is the vessel. And if you can't get a person an interview, you can't close the deal now, can you? So good luck with that. If you have any questions, let me know. I would love to hear some funny resume stories, anything you caught. Good for you if you caught it. Otherwise, I'd love to hear some horror stories too. So that's always fun. So like, subscribe, definitely add me on LinkedIn, and don't forget to check out the amazing 6-week course that we have on themillionairerecruiter.com to help you out in any aspect of your recruiting career, even if you're just starting. So, all right, remember, money is a vessel that takes you to where you want to go and to do the awesome things you want to do. So see you next week.